welcome to SJU. It's a happy Friday today because we're going to talk about the top 3 movie farts. Naturally, Spencer Gilbert is here and he's been working on this segment diligently for it feels like 2.5 years.
I keep pitching it. My day has finally come.
Your day has come because he caught me in a moment. And I just said, sure. Lobsters, cats, farts, Yoda. Let's do this thing. Billy Business is here.
Hey. Coming back to SJU after so long is like tuning into Grey's Anatomy like 5 years later. Like, this is still on? What are you guys still doing here? Who are these people?
Well, we miss you too, I guess. Does that make you the Sandra Oh of our You've Gone On to Do Killing Eve?
Oh,
You're the McDreamy.
I'm McSweaty.
Is that the same show?
No, I'm there's McSteamy, McDreamy. There's probably a new McMuffin now or something.
McMuffin.
There's just so many. They're on like season 55 of that
McClooney.
show.
What, didn't George Clooney star in that show? That's ER. Yeah, whatever.
I think eventually he made an appearance as McMahon Buns. Hey, we have other things to talk to you about, including the terrifying images of the original designs for Baby Yoda. Now, I want to give a big asterisk on this. It is hard to make things in the world, and they go through iterations for a reason. So a lot of early concept designs don't look like what we finally got in movies, and sometimes they look better, and sometimes they look like the thing that will fuel your nightmares for weeks to come. So join us, ladies and gentlemen. I had to look at this, so now you do too. The Mandalorian. Early designs, as we know, the big breakout star of The Mandalorian is the little child, Baby Yoda, as some people call him, and some people don't like that. That said, early designs looked like this. I'm just going to show it to you, and then we will. No, this comes out of a behind-the-scenes series showing the making of season 1, and it talks a lot about, sort of like how they filmed the baby, the child on set. It was very much in the use of practical design. So I'm going to tell the Werner Herzog story real quick one more time, which is that when Werner Herzog was on the set shooting, he's not particularly a Star Wars fan, not surprisingly, but he was on set shooting his scenes, and he had his scenes with the child, and he started crying, just tears of pure joy when he saw the puppet because he was so delighted with it. And then they took it away to do a shot that they would, just in case they had to CGI it later. And he just goes, cowards. Discuss this nightmare, Billy.
So, I mean, look, I'm a big fan of like concept art. I'm always the one that buys those like the art of movie books, which are actually really cool. If you hear about some like crazy deleted scene in like an Avengers movie or something, like go seek out those art of books, because a lot of times they never filmed them, but they'll draw them. So like Doctor Strange wearing Iron Man armor is in like the Infinity War book and stuff. Like there's a lot of cool stuff. This is woof. I don't know. This looks like a different show. This looks like little Joe Pesci as Baby Yoda. This is like he's asking the Mandalorian, like, how am I funny to you? Am I? Yeah. Like this looks like a Benjamin Button version of Mandalorian. Like that is an old. No, don't like it. Pass. Pass. What version was this?
And there's also plenty of other designs that I don't even know that this really captures how upsetting some of the designs were. I mean, like, this one is basically like it's basically like the Curb Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it looks very Larry David-ish.
No.
It's about to complain about a wobbly table at the cantina.
I mean, I will say though that it kind of highlights the incredible design work over time, and how like the thing that amazes me about Baby Yoda is that it's so obvious the tools that are being used to manipulate my emotions, and yet I'm still easily manipulated by it.
That is no baby. That is no baby. We would not be calling it Baby Yoda if that's what it was.
We would be calling that terrifying old man speaks like
that'd be like Grandpa Yoda.
Magic testicle. Yeah.
That is not a child. Not a child that should be in this world.
It's interesting because you see that like it must have been based off the script, right? Like this comes after the scripts are written, I assume, maybe sort of at the same time, but they're like, okay, it's Yoda when he's 50. So I think that they took that maybe literally and not realizing that Yoda's like 900 something so that he would age slower. Because that looks like a 50-year-old man.
That one right there looks worse than the other one where he's just sitting on the ground. That one looks slightly better, but the other one is like, yeah, I wonder if they did read like 50-year-old. I mean, they've had problems aging whatever species Yoda is since episode 1 came out. I mean, now they've like erased their traces completely, but you go back to like the old DVDs or the VHS of Phantom Menace, like that Yoda puppet where they're like, maybe we just give him some Larry David hair. Like, it's weird looking. They don't know how to like properly age or de-age a Yoda.
No, they don't, because when they de-aged Yoda, they went too far, because they erased, like, he was only in his terms a few years younger, right? Like he should have looked maybe 5 years younger than he was, given his age, but he looked like a weird little kid. And this is
when like the Jedi Temple is like flush with cash. He could have been getting Botox injections, coloring his hair, like, and then like quarantine's proven, when we lose the creature comforts, we all turn shit.
I mean, maybe he was peacocking for Yaddle. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was, but that puppet is frightening, and this looks like a miniature version of that, like episode 1.
I would abandon that child.
Is this all worth it?
Like, here you go.
I note that the only person that said openly that they would abandon the child because it's not attractive is the one parent in the room. So
cuteness is very evolutionary advantageous. You don't want to abandon the cute stuff.
That's true. And in our upcoming segment, Top Movie Cats, we will explore how cats are amazing because they are designed largely to look just like children. I just feel like because they have really big eyes and they're very flexible. Like, they look like babies. They look like human babies. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. In fact, my cat looks just like Annie. My cat looks like Annie.
No, God, that's an insult to everyone.
Moving on from that, I feel like that we can agree that baby Yoda is about to give us a pretty strong lecture about the 1%. And in that sense, maybe I'm back on board. Good. Billionaires in the galaxy. Do you think that any of these should have been the final design? I think our answer is no. Thank you, Eric, for the prompt. But we do want to look at some of the other previous designs for other famous creatures, such as the Xenomorph, drawn by original screenwriter Dan O'Bannon. This alien design. I don't think this is particularly creepy. I actually think he looks kind of cute. Like,
it looks like Squidward, like he's gonna walk, sideways out of the room, like blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Like the noise that would make would be funny.
That looks like Admiral Akbar's like grandparent. Like, it looks like it would like be very wise and like tell them why he was gonna kill them before he did it.
Yeah, it's gonna like telepathically tell you how to clean up the ocean or something like that.
It doesn't look like predatory, like it would come after me. It looks like it would play a much more cerebral game than just I'm hungry.
Good call to get H.R. Geiger on that one.
This one actually to me looks more like a creature that you would see in Doctor Who, and like the Doctor Who. One of the things that I really like about the Doctor Who universe is that it'll take like very other looking creatures, and it doesn't really humanize them, but he still has like care and compassion for them. It's one of the things.
Oh yeah, definitely. David Tennant would be like, "It's a Skamorgan. Don't shoot it." Blah, 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 and then it'd talk back, and then they'd have tea.
I've only seen one episode of Doctor Who, and it was like a big face that was just stretched out. It was like a woman.
The first episode of the
yeah.
I
think I just passed after that.
There's a whole arc with the face of Bo. How dare you?
I mean, I get it. Botox is, yeah.
Okay.
Show me your Bo face.
You know what? Everybody's fired today. But this is the show we're doing for you, ladies and gentlemen. I think that one's too cute. Again, we want to say that this is why these things go through iterations, but shall we take a look at Michael Bay's original horrifying Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
This one is really bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an alien. That's a menace. That thing needs to go.
I don't hate it. Look, here's my thing with Ninja Turtles. I've made this very clear. I have like there's like the Mount Rushmore of like G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles, He-Man. I missed like all of those, so I have no emotional attachment to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'd say shake it up. That looks weird. If I just saw that like walking down the street and it was like a bus shelter poster, I'd be like, that's kind of interesting. What is that? It looks like a turtle. Doesn't look like a ninja. That's fine with me.
First of all, what just happened there? But second of all, you know what the entire conversation around this would be?
Which is?
What?
The anatomy. The like sort of like, what is that?
What is that prehensile turtle dick?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that prehensile turtle dick?
I mean, it has to end somewhere. So I'm just looking at it up close and it's like, it's not overtly phallic.
What do you
I believe this is a fact that burrowed into my head from doing one of the honest trailers for these movies, is that turtle penises are the length of their entire bodies. So just put that on your in your back pocket.
Right? I think you should be moving us along. Let's take a look at E.T.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a $70,000 prototype alien animatronic designed by practical effects legend Rick Baker. He left the project after development. So like, first of all, we're not worthy. All hail Rick Baker. He's amazing. Master. That said, like nothing gonna pull at the heartstrings of the kiddos.
No. I mean, E.T. was already a tough pill to swallow. This is too much. If I'm putting my finger out, it's to push it into the garbage disposal.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Those face are not selling Reese's Pieces. I'm going to tell you that much right now. That face.
So they built that. That's like a thing that they built, like a puppet or something.
Yeah.
I can't believe it got that far before they were like, guys, what are we doing? Just because the finished one looks so different. But I guess that's a good way to show that like a lot of times when it's like, how do movies cost so much money? It's like, I don't know if people realize like how much money is dumped into like pre-production. Like they will make, I had a friend who actually worked, I don't know if I should say this, I guess enough time has passed. He worked on Raimi's Spider-Man 4 and he was making like vulture armor, like making it, not like, oh, maybe we'll present this. Like they were making it. And now it's just, who knows what happened to that? Like they spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff like this that just never ends up anywhere. I don't know where it goes actually.
Where what goes?
Where like stuff like this, like where does this end up? I have no idea.
Probably had it for a while. I mean, the studio, like he probably had it for a period of time, and then it goes where it goes. You know. I think they made the right decision because it was a kid's movie, you know? And so like we were saying about Baby Yoda, they do very, very basic things to get us to feeling endeared. And Spencer, to my earlier point, what they do is basically they have these creatures look the way that human babies often look. Their eyes are overly big, right? Because human babies, their eyes are bigger in their head. They have little noses and they have the very soft faces. They do the things that will endear us and make us want to care for them, like a cat.
Like that. Who couldn't love that face?
Exactly. But that's the thing that I do like about Doctor Who is that it doesn't necessarily default to all of that. That said, like this wasn't pushing candy on any children.
Looks so mad.
Yeah.
So mad.
So angry.
Well, he had a little bit to be mad about if you think about the way that he was treated on this planet.
Can you just imagine that face surrounded by the stuffed animals? Like, that's a horror movie. That's a horror movie.
Jabba the Hutt. Can we take a look at, I actually love this. Can we take a look at the original ILM design for Jabba the Hutt, please?
Oh, wow. That's like
week 3 of my quarantine.
That was like day 3 of mine.
That's the David Lynch Dune movie. That's Baron. What's his face? Wow, horrifying.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at it closer, do not like it all.
But I mean, Jabba's supposed to be a repulsive figure. You're supposed to. It's supposed to churn your stomach when he when he drools and talks and
but I mean,
eats.
this is a kids movie. You can't have like that in a little like cocksock for kids that are going to see that. Like, I'm glad they settled with a worm. This is too much. And I thought it was going to be furry. I thought it was always like that was the intention, was like furry.
Also, what species? Like, he looks very humanoid.
Oh, it looks like it's
very fleshy.
Yeah, decaying or something. Like, look at the rib cage there, or lack of rib cage. Like, it looks like it's like stringy.
If that's week 3 of quarantine, then if we go back to ET, I think that's going to be month 4.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Just sustaining on nothing but whiskey and sorrow. There's actually an article that you guys can look up on, it's Comic Book Resources, and it has a number of other great creature designs as well. I don't think we have them all here, but Pennywise was one that I think is interesting because they actually pulled back. And they had like really had this mutated look for Pennywise, which sometimes he does look that way. But for me, the what's really creepy, particularly about the original Pennywise, was the performance. And it was that he really did just look like a clown. And the performance is what sold how evil and terrifying he was. So yeah, interesting. Sometimes they pull back, sometimes they make these changes. There's also the Xenomorph, which I don't believe we have to share with you, Ryan. Good call. We can't be trusted with the Xenomorph.
What about the Jean-Claude Van Damme's Predator? Did you guys ever see that?
No. The lobster?
Yeah, he's in a lobster costume running around the woods.
Yeah.
Check that out. Just look that up for your own edification.
There's a number. It's really interesting to look at these iterations and sort of look at how things have evolved. And to Billy's point, a friend of ours who very sadly passed away a couple of years ago did a documentary about a movie that was never made, but had a ton of design work done and a lot of the suits built out, which was the death. The movie is called, the documentary is called The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, and his name is John Schnepp. But there's a ton of work that went into that film, and then it was just never made. So Hollywood is a weird place that likes to spend money and then also refuse to give you any money. But you guys should go check out his film. John Schnepp was a friend, and he was a beautiful, lovely man. So I think that's it in terms of what we have available to show you today, but I really encourage you to go check out this article because it is really interesting if you're interested in film. The other thing that most people have already seen is the reptilians from the defunct Jurassic, like the humanoid dinosaurs from Jurassic. And I think I have an outlier opinion on that, folks. I just want it to go there one day.
Yeah, the series is so dumb. Embrace the dinosaurs with lasers on their heads at this point. Like, I checked out after Lost World. Lost World wasn't even very good. The Jurassic Park 2, it's been downhill from there. We're at like movie 7 now. Just put a special forces soldier on a raptor and have it run and fight Chris Pratt on a motorcycle, also on a raptor.
But I also would like the special forces soldier to be half raptor himself.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Blue. All due respect to Blue.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going there because the whole last movie, they finally took 6 movies to get human cloning on the table, which probably I thought was going to come way sooner. So somewhere there is BD Wong has a half human, half reptile. It's coming. Don't worry. Don't you worry. It'll be there.
All right. Well, thank you, Billy. That's good news. And we're glad that you've joined us for this reunion episode of Grey's Anatomy.
You're welcome.
And now this. Spencer's going to thank you guys for being with us today.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Press the thumbs up if you haven't pressed the thumbs up. We do this every day now, do we? Monday through Friday? I don't know. Something like that.
Something goes up every Monday through Friday.
Something happens on this channel every Monday through Friday. So kill 30 minutes to an hour with us. I believe, is this episode a direct relief episode?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working with Direct Relief. It should be a link in the description, and they are giving public health authorities, nonprofit organizations, and businesses to provide personal protective equipment and essential medical items to health workers responding to the coronavirus, which is still going on. So support that if you can.
Yeah, and I will also say that Fandom and we continue to support the efforts of Black Lives Matter as well. And there will be links in the description below where you can either contribute or otherwise participate and support that as well. So thank you guys, echoing Spencer. By the way, Spencer, I just love the complete matter-of-fact nature with which you state the request. I think it's interesting the way that we all do it. I think Joe and I are we begging you? Is that what it feels like, folks? But Spencer's just like, I think we're here. You might as well be too. What else have you got to do? The world's on fire. Billy, the business. Yeah. We have a segment coming up called The Farties.
That's why I'm here.
So, yeah, I know. On brand. That's why we invited Billy with us today. So this is what Spencer has been wanting to do for, I'm not lying, 2.5 years.
Well,
so Spencer, have at it.
I guess it's for background. I thought it would be funny always to make a video of like the top movie farts, but then to be inserting farts into scenes where there were none, like the very emotional Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams scene in Manchester by the Sea. You know, someone squeaks one out. I think that would be funny. So, but you know, dreams become more realistic here on SJU, and instead we're just going to talk about some funny fart scenes. My number one pick. Sorry, I'll go. Are we doing this as a countdown?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
SJU, where dreams come to die. Please like and subscribe.
I almost want, because I think I'll make that video someday. Someday that video will come. So
never gonna do that. You have a child.
Instead, let's just talk about some funny fart scenes that that I think we should share with the audience. And each one of these, in no particular order, but actually in order. We'll count it down. So number 3 is from Shaun of the Dead, and I think we have a clip.
Will you do what I said, then? I ain't doing nothing for him. Well, do it for me, then. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean.
It's all right.
No. I'm sorry, Sean. Oh! Oh my God, that's rotten! I'll stop doing them when you start laughing. I am not laughing, I'm going.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, should I get your takes first, or should I describe why I like it?
I think you should describe.
Well, the funniest part of that is, to me, is like, you don't need the noise for them to be funny. It's all in the reaction. It's all in Nick Frost's delivery of the "I'm sorry," and then the second meaning that the "I'm sorry" takes on the repetition. And I love that there's a camaraderie built over the fart. You know, that this is clearly a thing that they've done many times before, like a little ritual between friends. The old silent but deadly drive-by. And I think that's it doesn't need to be crude. It's just, it shows you everything you need to know about their relationship. So I think it's a beautiful scene.
Billy, what's your take on this fart selection?
I have a theory as a master farter that I think the key to a great movie or TV fart is, like I said, or like Spencer said, not actually the sound of the fart. It's the reaction to the fart, because the fart sound, there's only 6 fart sounds in movies and TV. That's a fact. Google it. There's only 6 fart sounds, and 5 of them are not naturally occurring in nature. Like, I have tried to replicate movie fart sounds. It doesn't happen. They don't sound like that. So you can't go on sound alone. You have to go on reaction. And if you no-sell or oversell the fart, it's not going to be funny. That was a natural reaction to a fart. And thus, I believed it. I buy that those characters are farting and indeed taking in fart. So great fart. Great choice.
I just want to do a quick PSA to say that just because you Google something doesn't mean necessarily that it's true. I believe
there's 6 of them, Roth. That's a fact.
There's only 6 farts.
There are 12 musical notes. I believe that it's possible that there are only 6 naturally occurring fart sounds.
Yeah. And with that, you know, Beethoven's.
Yeah. and it's the combination of those 6 notes that creates the individual fart. I do believe that. I think that's probably true. That said, because there are an infinite number of combinations, every fart is special.
Yeah.
And I
the
think
overtones.
this one is no different. Yeah.
Well, speaking of combinations of farts, I mean, this one is an oldie. It's a goodie. I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up because I believe it's like fart's pinnacle, a crowning moment in cinema. It's Blazing Saddles. We gotta play this just for the record.
How about some more beans, Mr. Taggart? I'd say you've had enough. I understand there's a new sheriff in town.
Play the whole thing.
So if I may, before I devolve into a complete existential crisis that is looming over me at any given moment, what I like about this, and Blazing Saddles is a great movie. I am a Young Frankenstein advocate, but Blazing Saddles is also great. What I like about this is that so many movies previously don't address the realities of what certain situations in different time periods would be, which is for the most part gross. I mean, any other time period outside of right now, the last, say, 50 to 100 years, be nasty. People didn't wash, they smelled. There would be tons of, like, look at all those beans. There would be tons of farts, just throwing shit out the window. It's chaos. It's mayhem. And you know what? This owns that and it embraces. I think it celebrates the evolution of man. I think that's what we're looking at right there. Just a celebration of humankind.
I agree. It's an old-fashioned fart off.
This is also textbook, and you'll see moving forward, when you have a scene that has a symphony of farts, part of the psychology is if you have more than, call it 4 or 5 farts, you need to throw in a high-pitched, we call them a church house squeaker, so that it... so that it breaks down, and that's what gets you. That's what makes you laugh, because it's like low rumbles, but then all of a sudden you get the high. Sounds like, you know, like you're tying a balloon.
It's the subversion of expectations. It's the Ryan Johnson of farts is the squeaker at the end.
Yes.
Are you doing this shit off the top of your head?
No, I mean, this is like a science. There's a reason why farts end up being hilarious if you do them right.
I'm so glad Billy has joined us today. You're so on point.
All right, so I have to say Spencer's going to do his top movie fart now, but I will just note that I think we're missing a very important fart sequence in cinema, but I'll talk about it afterwards. So.
Okay, well, we'll talk about honorable fartions after this final fart. Let's play it.
You know what? I don't feel like talking to you about this.
Where are you going?
Taking a cab. I'm going home.
Finally.
This is the most honest scene in film. Forget Boyhood, forget like any kind of cinema verite, forget documentaries even. There's nothing more real than from a male perspective, at least, I'm not going to speak for women, but on a date, when it's over, is the unclenching, is the release of pressure that has been built up over dinner, over drinks. You probably had a steak or like some shrimp scampi or something like that.
What are you, a rookie? No, this is for every man that had to order soup on the date because he thought, I cannot hang if we do anything after this. This is when you sip the coffee afterwards because you're like, I'm on the precipice of something terrible. That is exactly true to life. That is a Ken Burns documentary moment right there. Joel the everyman doing what every man does after a date. God bless him.
I'm going to disagree with you guys. I'm going to disagree with you guys and say the actual true to life thing that people don't already know about that could actually subvert the expectations is if she walked away feeling mad, emotional, having her justified feelings, getting in her cab and let it fucking rip. That's the real truth, ladies.
Okay. Well, I guess it's
Hot Mila Kunis farts. That's the fact that Ted wasn't willing. That it was not willing to go there. It was not willing to take a stand and say Hot Mila Kunis rips it.
But that's why we need more female writers. I want to know the female perspective of that same scene.
Exactly.
Because no woman that fit is lacking in fiber.
That's true. A lot of roughage.
Lot of carrots. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's going to be my complaint for you, Spencer. I mean, these are solid fart choices. So again, I do contest the last one, the thesis on the last one. That said, there is a film in which farts were weaponized. There was a film in which farts were used to add to the terror, the mounting tension, the insurmountable pain and anguish, the pure no exit situation.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Is the Lighthouse.
Yep.
Lighthouse farts were weaponized in the Lighthouse, and you failed to represent the dramatic effect of a fart. We all know the comedic effect of a fart. You failed to recognize the horror.
They were still funny, though.
Yeah, they were really funny.
Do we all have older brothers on this panel? I feel like that's the common denominator.
Yes.
Oh. Billy, who taught you farts were funny?
You know, I think just some people are born with it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Can't wait to pass it on to my children.
Your child.
So I think why I'm responding to your point, Spencer, my older brother didn't teach me that farts were funny. He taught me that they were weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know about you, but some of us got held down and had farts hailed at our faces at direct impact.
There a Geneva Convention?
Not between siblings. There's no Hague for older brothers.
Like, did your brother not do that to you?
I got hit with a few. I got hit with a few clouds, in my day, for sure. I don't know if there was ever a arms pinned down full, like there was a threat of that, but I don't think that ever got pulled off because,
Yeah.
I was slippery.
Held down, fart in face, okay, or held down, torture, and then he would just repeat torture, 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 or dead man's arm. Did you get that?
No, but I know what it is.
You just repeatedly punch in the same spot over. I feel like maybe I have some trauma that I need to work out, but I'm recognizing why I respond to the Lighthouse at this point. And you, Shaun of the Dead. I think what we've learned here today, and Billy, you're the expert, so I'll leave it to you.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that your preferred movie fart says a lot about you?
I think so. I think it really shows like your sense of humor as a person. Like for me, I don't think the fart is funny. I think the circumstance around the fart is funny, and I think that kind of shapes. Like you could tell a lot about me. I think everyone has their own fart smell inside. Everyone likes their own brand, essentially, and I think it applies to what you think is funny about it.
Well, Spencer, how do you feel now that you've gotten your segment?
It feels like a big release, to be honest. I feel a lot lighter, and I'm kind of hungry. Okay,
good. I can't imagine that anybody is still watching this program point other than my boyfriend, who's contractually obligated to do so. Thank you, Ryan. But I do want to check in with the five of you. Ryan, do people in the comments have favorite farts, or do they have thoughts on the horror show that we showed them earlier in the concept art? Or would they like to combine those two ideas in an innovative way?
At SD Gidney said, I have a classroom fart corner for my K-5 students. I don't know if I can confirm that, but if you have a fart corner for your students, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Let me see if I can have find some other ones that are big. At Eden Cho says the fart guns from Despicable Me 1. Some people were sharing your Lighthouse love. And at Dazo Wadsworth asked, what's that film with the kid who uses his farts to go into space? I would also like to know that.
Oh, like Swiss Army Man, maybe? He didn't go to space. Yeah. That's a very functional fart. He uses it to cross an ocean.
How did we forget that fart?
Yeah.
That's
So
the movie part.
if you want, in my medical opinion, the best reaction to a fart, the fart in Step Brothers itself, I don't think is really that funny. It's the scene after where Oscar award winning America's sweetheart Mary Steenburgen looks them dead in the eyes and says, "Heard about the fart," and it's like, "Oh no, you did." Like, it is maybe the best acted scene in her entire career, and she has an Oscar. That is comedy gold. That is the kind of fart reactions that I'm looking for taking in this kind of content.
It's true. Well said.
Ryan, anything else from the chat on
at Nick Bloss says Mystery Men had a few, and I saw a couple other people saying Mystery Men too. So giving a shout out to
rewatch Mystery Men.
And Thunderpants at Natalie Drake, Thunderpants, and I saw that one. It's a British film, so maybe that's what people were talking about before.
Okay.
Well, team, I'm gonna take you behind the scenes here. Option A for today was that Spencer and I rewatch and review Avatar, and I have very little will left.
It's 3 hours long, Roth.
So this is the show that you get today. But Billy was here, and oh my God, no better time to have Billy the Business.
I thought this was a joke, by the way. That's why I have no clips, is because I thought Joe was just joking when he was like, "That's what we're talking about."
You would have brought other additional clips?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would have probably brought, I think the most realistic depiction of like a fart in distress is Ben Stiller in Along Came Polly. Like, who has not prayed to every god imaginable when you're at someone else's toilet?
I think we're going to have to do another one, Rob. I think we're going to have to do a whole award show. Maybe around Oscar season.
I mean, I should have known that Billy, like, there's a t-shirt that I've been wanting to get. I saw it in some dumb store in Forks, which was just, "I pooped today." And I've been trying to get it for Billy now for like years, because I understand that poop is his brand. I guess I didn't understand he would be coming with fart science today.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
He's a master poopologist with a minor in fartology.
But I think probably I should. I do think that you made some errors in your selections.
Well, you're gonna have to bring it. Let's see yours next week.
All right, Billy. Any final thoughts? Thank you for joining.
No, it was great to be here for the series finale of SJU.
Yeah. There's nothing more you'd like to say about the Xenomorph?
I don't know what that is, but you've piqued my curiosity. I have a suspicion, but I actually haven't seen it.
All right. Well, I would just like to state for the record that the three of us are adult human beings, and these two are fathers.
Not yet. So I still have carte blanche. I have a couple more weeks.
I will say that even children find farts funny. You never grow out of it unless your soul's dead. Dead inside, Roth. Dead.
Someone made a documentary about, like, if I went to like somewhere like completely across the world in a country that's like completely no one speaks any like English or anything and just farted, is it universally funny? Like, is it the one true language barrier?
I think you just sold a documentary, Billy. Let's go.
At the fart of it all?
At the fart of it all.
That's such a good question. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea. Like, if I.
And by the way, I refuse to look it up. We're just gonna have to go shoot the movie.
So because belches have different meanings. Like, in some cultures, it's considered very complimentary.
Right.
You've eaten a meal.
Yeah.
But is the fart like just the both like the secret shame of every culture and the hidden joy?
Do your own research, I always say. So.
All right. Happy fart day to all. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
See you Monday.